Hi there. Here's an update on my portfolio. As you guys can see, we're a little bit over 200,000. And currently I am mostly invested into SGov. So if we open up SGov here, currently I have pretty much almost all of my money in SGov. As I've sold off everything just maybe about a week ago. Decided to sell off everything and just start this whole thing all over again. And mostly because the market has been, uh, you know, uh, pulling back, taking a dive, and currently the market is in extreme fear. Not only the stock market, but also the crypto market. And so, right now, what I'm doing is I had a list of about 6 different ETFs, and here they are. These are the ETFs that I've been slowly buying back into or dollar cost averaging into on dips. The first one is QDVO, QQQI, SPY-I, KQQQ, TDAQ, or TDAC, and T-SPY. So for the most part, moving forward here, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into these 6 ETFs. And let me show you, for example, TDAC or QDVO, this first one here. If we look at the 1 year right here, as you guys can see, this major dip right here, the April dip, this definitely made a comeback from that April dip. And so when I look at most of these ETFs, well, pretty much all of them, they all look the same. They all have this bounce back. So if we look through the rest of them, this is QQQI. As you guys can see, it's made a comeback from the April crash. Also, we've got here SPY-I. It's made a comeback from the April crash. If we look at KQQQ, also has made a great comeback from that April crash. If we look at this one here, this is fairly new, I guess. So, but I'm pretty sure based on the other ETF by Tap Alpha, which is T-SPY, I'm pretty sure this would make a comeback just as well, because if we look at T-SPY, which is also from Tap Alpha, if we go out for the 1 year, it has made a comeback from the April crash. Now it is down currently about 5.41%, but I guess it's just a good buying opportunity, right? So for now, what I'm going to be doing moving forward is I'm going to be buying these 6 different ETFs because all of them show that they've made a comeback from the April low. And so since the market has been dipping somewhat, I'm going to be buying these because I think these are a little bit less volatile and they make a better comeback than something like of course, like any of the yield max ETFs, those simply don't make a comeback at all. And so I'm pretty much done owning any of those yield max ETFs. So I'm only owning here like NEOS ETFs, which is SPY-I and QQQI. This QDevo ETF is from Amplify, okay? And this is from Curve. It's been a very good ETF. And of course, these 2 ETFs from Tap Alpha. So six different ETFs in total for now. Now, this doesn't mean that I won't be buying maybe a little bit of WPay or some other round hill ETFs. I may be purchasing small amounts of that once I fully reinvest all of my cash into these 6 ETFs, because I want these 6 to be the major portion of my portfolio. And I have come to the conclusion that probably owning about maybe just about 5% of WPay would probably be a good enough amount, something where like it's not large enough to really affect my portfolio overall. It would be a small position, a 5% position, I think maximum. so that it doesn't affect my portfolio. So if WPay has another drawdown, or if the stock market has another drawdown, of course, WPay will have an even harder drawdown. And so, if it's only a very small amount of my portfolio, I don't think it'll drag my entire portfolio down with it. Because if we look over to WPay, let's look up WPay right here real quick. WPay. If we look at WPay in the past 3 months, as you guys can see, it is down 13.4% in the past month, 15.21%. So you could almost say that WPay has already crashed, right? And is WPay going to make a really great comeback once the market starts coming back? Well, I don't know. It might, it might, but well, I can't really tell if it is going to make such a great comeback. It might make a comeback, but I don't know. So I think that holding something like this, in my opinion, is holding only a small amount of this. I don't want to own too much of WPay. And so if we go over to my dividend tracker, here's an example of just how much I would make on a monthly basis once I spread all my money out in between these 6 different ETFs. So this is just an estimation on average what I would make. So obviously it's not as much as I was making before, but I think this is a little bit more safer. I think this is a little bit less risky. Because in reality, for example, like SPY is basically doing what the S&P 500 is doing. And it hasn't had a major drawdown. In reality, the S&P 500 actually isn't down that bad. So I'm thinking of purchasing, just as I said before, just these 6 ETFs, potentially spreading my money amongst these equally, but buying on red days, buying on dips, and still moving with caution because there is still extreme fear in the market. So I'm moving with caution, buying on red days because there is still extreme fear in the market. And so if we look over at the S&P 500 right here, if we look at the past month, the S&P 500 is only down 1.66%. So it's really not down really that much at all. If we look at this advanced charting here, advanced charting tool, if it wants to open up, and it has, okay, great. If we go to the 1 year, we can see here that the S&P 500 has crossed under the 50-day moving average. That green line you see there is the 50-day moving average. And now it's bouncing off of the 100-day moving average. The 100-day moving average is that light blue line that you see there. It's, I think, $659.03. So it's bounced off the 100-day moving average. It may return to the 100-day moving average to see if it's going to bounce off of it again. If it does not bounce off the 100-day moving average, then more than likely, I guess, it may be heading to that purple line, which would be the 200-day moving average. And that would be a correction. And so could it happen? It could happen, right? The S&P 500 could break below the 100-day moving average and head towards the 200-day moving average. That could happen. So that's why I'm, moving forward with caution, slowly buying back these 6 ETFs into any dips. Buying a share here and there, I'm not buying large quantities. And most of my cash is in SGov. So if we go back to here, most of my cash currently is in SGov. Now, something about SGov that I've noticed here In the following month, in the month of December, SGov has a double dip. Okay, because I believe it pays two dividends in December. And so if we look at the 1 year, if you look back here in this area, this is the December double dip. So it'll top out in November, right? In November it'll hit its top, and then it'll pay its dividend and reset. Then it'll start to rise. I believe it pays another dividend here, and then it resets down even further, and then starts to rise again. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe there's another ETF that is kind of like SGov, which is CSHI. CSHI right here. This ETF is similar to SGov, kind of. A little bit different, but still also moving sideways in this range. I might switch over to this one just for a couple of days, probably just for the month of December. So I may switch all my cash into this ETF, maybe sometime this week, so that I can buy back into SGov on that double dip. If we see here, that would be at a price of about 116, 118. So yeah, I might do that, buy with all my cash right here at 116, and then let it ride up and just allow it to move. Just it's going to do its thing. It's going to go sideways. And then I am going to be buying these 6 ETFs. And in the future, maybe I might be adding some WPay, maybe some other Roundhill ETFs, just to increase or bump up that income. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward. And if you are watching, I thank you very much for watching. Please do me a big favor, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. Haven't made a video in a while, but I'm going to start making videos again. Well, thanks so much. You guys have a great one. God bless. Catch you in the next video. Bye.